Hi guys, we are entering right now the cross of tension, and 39, 38, the provocateur and the fighter, these two deaf and provocative energies are going to give us a very intensive and interesting week. And I have also my private little tension, maybe not that little. I'm leaving in a few hours to Canada for the summer, so I'm going to have my pressure and tension for the next few hours, and then a new adventure. Next video, I will see you from there, from Toronto. So let's see what we are going to experience this week. So the cross of tension brings these energies of provocation and struggle. But of course, in the not self, it might look like struggle in fighting for minor things and not important things. But the truth is that the tension we are talking about is the tension to provoke and to awaken. Yes, this is to provoke. The 39 provokes the spirit, and in the 39 is fighting for its life purpose. So these are two individual pressures that that fuel two individual streams, the stream of emoting and the stream of intuition. Very important individual fuels. The gate of provocation, obstruction. The value of obstruction in provoking analysis, assessment, and re-evaluation. As I said, the 39 is provoking the spirit, is checking, the gate of the spirit, the 55th gate, checking what is the mood there, and is this spirit is correct for me, for the provocator. And this is a how should I say? It's not flirting, but it's like a poking energy. It's checking to see if the energy on the other side will survive the provocation, and then if it does survive it, then that's the correct energy for this gate, for this person, for this situation. We know that the 39 is the root in the fuel for the stream of emoting that has this tendency for eating disorders, deep moodiness. So we should be, we should open our eyes and just watch what's going on. Does that affect us? Are we feeling this? Do we have the tendency usually, and now it's getting stronger, or whatever? And of course, all the people with the 55th gate, especially in an open solar plexus, it could be a very interesting week, and very moody and strong creative energy. And also, of course, both gates are very melancholic, so everything is, the individual essence is very, very strong when these two pressures are in the Sun Earth. The fighter is the fuel for the stream of intuition. This is the individual splenic stream, and we are talking about fueling the struggle for to find the correct principles for the purpose, to find the life's purpose. Opposition, the ability to preserve individual integrity through opposition to detrimental forces. Now, these two gates are also deaf gates, deafness. We know we have three deafness gates. We have the 43, the gate of breakthrough in the ajna, and these two fuels that, of course, create the three deaf channels. And these channels are deaf, these gates and channels are deaf because the individual doesn't want to be interfered and influenced from the outside. So when we have this in the Sun Earth, it is going to be a deaf week. We will be deaf to others, and others will be deaf and wouldn't listen and wouldn't hear what we're trying to say, because the individual doesn't want to be influenced. So of course, when it's not our design and it's only in the sun earth, then it can create situations that are not correct for us. So we need to be very strict in our strategy and authority, and of course to see, to try to observe how the homogenized surrounding will be affected by these strong energies, and we don't need to take things personally, because there will be struggle, and there will be provocation and moodiness and all this juicy stuff around these two individual fuels. And then later, near the end of the day, of the GMT day, the moon will enter the gate of duration, the gate of continuity, the 32nd gate, and will create with Pluto the channel of transformation that we know so well and very important this year. But as that happens, it also amplifies, or let's say activates very strongly as a global conditioning pattern these three other fuels except Pluto. We have the two individual Sun-Earth fuels, and we have the 53rd gate that Mars sits in, the gate of beginnings, the gate of development. So this is the pressure to begin. And also, of course, Jupiter that sits in the gate of practical solutions, the gate of black magic, the 48th gate, the well. So this is all going to be very, very intensive. Another interesting thing is that Mercury will be in the 62nd gate, which is the gate of detail, the gate that gives words and invent names in the Maya. So when that is in Mercury, it's very, very interesting to see how we are going to name this transformational pressure, individual pressures and practical solutions and pressure to begin. Everything will have a name, and maybe new names and a lot of details. In the second, later in the evening GMT time, we're going to experience the channel of struggle. The moon will be in the 28th gate, the gate of the game player. And again, we're going to feel all the pressures, but this time it's going to be individual struggle and very strong energy. And we really need to be aware that this is what's going on, because it could create struggle. And it could create not self-struggles, and of course empower our individual search and struggle for higher purpose. On the 3rd, we are going to experience the moon in the 1st gate, the gate of creative expression, and it will connect to Venus in the 8th gate, the gate of contribution. So we will experience the channel of inspiration, a design of a creative role model. This will also emphasize and activate strongly the 62nd gate. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to explain or talk about our individual contribution in a very detailed and logic way. On the 4th, early in the morning GMT time, we're going to begin to experience the channel of curiosity that will be created out of Mercury, that will move to the 56th gate, the gate of the storyteller, the gate of stimulation, that will connect to the gate of ideas. That Saturn is there. Saturn has moved to the 1st line in this gate. So this channel will be a few days. And a few hours, I think like 3 hours, about 3 hours, we will have both channels, the inspiration and the curiosity. This is going to be very interesting, especially for people with open throat. A lot of expression from all kind of directions. Interesting. And the last charismatic move is going to be when the moon will enter on the 5th, will enter the 34th gate, the gate of power. This integration battery for all the integration, this sacral battery for all the integration process, and Venus will move from the 8th gate to the 20th gate, the gate of contemplation, the gate of the now. So we are going to have like 10 or 11 hours of the channel of charisma with the storyteller. So a lot of action, while the sacral is activated so strongly by this global conditioning pattern. We will also feel strongly the gate of saying yes, the 29th gate, and of course the gate of ordering difficulties in the beginning, the gate that brings mutation, the 3rd gate that, you know, Uranus sits there. So that's all, folks. This is a very strong week that we are going to experience, very tense, very compressed, with a lot of root pressures and a lot of individuality. And in order to experience this with this magic that this individuality can bring, and the mutation and the transformation and everything that we feel that has this effect on us in the transits field, in order to feel it in our correct way, in order to grow and be developed and be transformed and mutated in our correct way and in to our correct direction, we need to be locked in our strategy, follow our inner authorities, decision-making process, and to sleep alone, to protect our aura, to let ourselves be who we are, you know, during the night, the time that really unconscious and our aura is very vulnerable, and we really need to let all the energies that we accumulate, or that we absorb during the day from other people. We can't do anything about the transit. This is it. This is life. But we also absorb other people's energy, and this is something that we need to let go at night, release, and come back to who we are in the morning, and have all our powers of magic back again. So that's it. Next video, as I said, will be from Canada. I don't know when, and I hope that I will have new, interesting perspective from the other side of the globe. People around me lately are talking about the theory of the flat earth, so maybe it's not the globe, I don't know, but it's far away. So see you next time from there. Love you. Bye-bye.